Good morning everyone. My name is Mohammad Yahyan Khan. I study in class 5B Bolton School. Today I want to share some information about the nervous system which I have learned in the lockdown period. As you all know, the nervous system is one of the most important organ systems in our body. Hello everyone. Today I want to share some information about these three things: the digestive system, the nervous system and the brain, which is a part of the nervous system. So I would like to start with the digestive system. So as you all know, it's a long tube that starts with the mouth and ends with the anus. The mouth, as you can see, is the place from where we eat and swallow our food. It contains the tongue, the teeth, and behind the teeth, behind the tongue, there is a small muscle called the epiglottis. And this epiglottis helps to swallow the food properly. And the muscles that make the esophagus contract and relax the esophagus, the food, and digest it properly. Here, the salivary glands, as you can see. Saliva, as you know, spit. And here is a fun fact. A human being removes about 26,000 liters of saliva in his lifetime. So that's as much as 2 swimming pools of saliva. And next comes the stomach. So as you can see, the stomach produces a gastric fluid called the gastric juice. This gastric juice contains an acid called the hydrochloric acid. This hydrochloric acid is a type of acid. So why doesn't it burn us? It is because there is a huge layer of mucus behind the stomach that prevents the stomach to get in contact with the acid. And next comes these two kidneys: intestines, large intestine and the small intestine. And the first one is the small intestine. It is called small intestine because it is quite narrow. And the large intestine is called the large intestine because it is very wide, much wider than the small intestine. But if you remove a small intestine and stretch it, it would stretch as much as 22 feet, which is longer than the longest crocodile. And 22 feet is as long as 4 adult human beings. Whereas the large intestine isn't so long. It could stretch only up to 5 feet, the length of me. So 5 feet is just 1.2 or 1.3 meters. And in the intestines, the food breaks down and it contains 5 nutrients: the carbohydrates, amino acids, fats, vitamins and minerals. Now, when the body utilizes the amino acids, it makes a chemical called ammonia, and this ammonia is very dangerous for the body. The liver and the pancreas, the liver makes the ammonia into a lesser dangerous chemical known as urea, and it is a yellowish thing. And coming to the large intestine, here is where the poop forms, and the poop goes from here and it comes out from the body through the anus. And do you see this small thing over here? This tube-like thing is known as the appendix. Now the appendix, it's one of the most weird places in the human body. This appendix is like a house for the good bacteria. Now I'm not talking about the bacteria that harm our body and give us diseases. These are the good bacteria that help us digest our food properly. In fact, there's a trade-like thing we do with the bacteria and the bacteria do with us. We give it food and the bacteria help us digest our food properly. And without these little guys inside, we couldn't have been in a chance to digest the food properly. And next, coming to the nervous system. The nervous system has the brain, the spinal cord and the nerves, as you can see. So first let's start with the brain, because as the topmost organ, let's start with it. Now the brain, as you know, is divided into three parts: the forebrain, the midbrain, the cerebellum or the hindbrain. Now this forebrain is divided into two parts: the left half and the right half. Now scientists think that the left half is for logical reasoning and for solving math problems, whereas they also think that the right half is for creativity, when you go creative or imaginary. And next, coming to the midbrain, although it is much smaller than the forebrain, it is still very important, as it connects the two other brains, the forebrain and the cerebellum or the hindbrain. And this midbrain has a tail-like thing called the brainstem. It is also known as the tail of the brain. And as you can see over here, the hindbrain on the cerebellum. Here, let me ask you a question: how many letters, how many words have you learned in the grammar? Because all the words you have learned in your grammar so far are stored in this cerebellum. And now coming to the brainstem, it is a very long thing, and it extends downwards and downwards and downwards and goes to the and connects, and here comes the spinal cord. Now you might find these bumpy little things, and they look like discs called, and they are known as the vertebrae. Now in museums you can find these of very large animals like blue whales or any other dinosaurs. Now these vertebrae are used help us stand erect, straight, and without these we would stand like this or like this. We could stand straight without these the things. But now leave that thing. Actually the vertebrae are not a part of the nervous system. It's a completely different thing that comes in the skeletal system. Now coming to the nerves, and these nerves are known as neurons, and there are about 100 billion neurons only in the brain. Now something that cells, they are nerve cells, and that's true that neurons are also known as nerve cells, and they are almost everywhere in the body. And these neurons do not look like any other nerves in the body. They look like a continuous tree. Like for example, a tree, for example, has branches on the top, a trunk, and inside it has a root. But the neurons are also the same. They are like a continuous tree. First the branches, then the trunk, then another tree starts, and the branches, and then the trunk, and it goes on and goes on and goes on. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching.